Living alone and living with a partner are two distinct experiences that comes with their own set of advantages and challenges. It provides individuals with independence, freedom, and solitude. They have the freedom to make decisions, manage their own space, and establish their own routines. Living with a partner, on the other hand, offers companionship, shared responsibilities, and emotional support. Couples can share the joys and burdens of daily life, build a shared future, and experience a deep sense of connectedness. While both options can be fulfilling, it ultimately depends on individual preferences, lifestyle, and stage of life. Although I have lived my life as a single woman, and I advocate for anyone to experience living solo, I do have to say there are things that I do miss about living with a partner. Social media has become a powerful platform for shaping and portraying the concept of living the single life, and it often does so in both enticing and cautionary ways. Of course, you'll see single people post images of exciting adventures, spontaneous travels, and self-discovery projects that paints a compelling picture of single life as liberating and full of possibilities. On the flip side, social media can also cast a shadow on the single life, as it can sometimes magnify feelings of loneliness or inadequacy. The curated posts of seemingly perfect couples and family moments can create unrealistic expectations, making single individuals question their own happiness. This difference in how social media portrays a single life underscores the complex interplay between reality and perceptions in the digital age, where it's essential to remember that the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the screen. So, on this episode, I will be sharing my experience and the struggles I have living as a single woman. For the most part, living alone has its perks. However, there are things that single people don't tell you, and I'm one of those few who will tell you the negative side of living alone. To hear more about my experience living as a single woman, keep listening because you don't want to miss this episode. Welcome back to another episode of yours truly. It is I, your one and only host, Druelee, of course. As I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, the introduction, on this episode, I'll be talking to you guys more in depth about my experience living as a single woman. For those who just tuned in and are new to my podcast, just a little bit of background about me. I was divorced, and that was the reason why I created this podcast. And so I was used to living with someone. Now that I'm single, I'm living by myself. It is a little bit different. Sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, but I do want to share my experience with you guys. For those who are a bit scared of living by yourself, I'm just letting you guys know I enjoy it so much to the point where I'm so content. And of course, people will tell you a lot of good things about being single and living by yourself. Again, like I said, it has its good perks, okay? But I'm going to tell you guys the opposite side. Let's go to the negative side of living alone. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of people aren't honest, but you guys know me. I'm just going to tell you guys how it is, okay? Straight shooter, no chaser, okay? There's just a couple things that I just want to tell you guys from my experience living alone. Let's start out with the first one, okay? The first and foremost, I'm pretty sure you guys will agree with me, even all the single people will agree with me, is that when you live by yourself, you financially struggle. I'm not saying that you need, as a woman, okay, talking towards my woman, okay? Even though you are a female, you don't need a man to financially support you, okay? But I do have to say that while I was married, the finance was good, just because even though I was working, my previous partner was working as well too. So we were able to help each other financially to pay our bills together. And aside from that, we were also able to, go out and enjoy food and go out and entertain ourselves and also travel. Now that I am by myself, And of course, with inflation, 2023, I'm recording this October of 2023, okay? And inflation suck ass, okay? Prices are going up. I was thinking about moving to a different apartment, getting myself a 2-bedroom apartment. Just because I have a lot of stuff, you guys. As a woman, I have a lot of stuff. Being and living in a 1-bedroom apartment, it's just not enough for me, okay? Yeah, call me greedy, but I like to have a lot of space for different things, okay? As of right now, looking at my apartment, my living room is like my living room / office / my nail business / my podcast business, okay? So and my workout area as well too. And so that's like a lot. Like I just want to divide my space, have a separate room for like my office, my podcast, and my nail business, I don't know, I just need that space. Of course, going back to finance, yeah, rent is really expensive, and looking at the houses that's on sale, it's very expensive too. Like compared to the price now from 5 years ago, there's a difference. And I'm not saying that I'm struggling paying my rent. Like it's a lot cheaper from other places that I've seen. However, I do have to say that with inflation, the prices are going up. I don't think I can afford to move out. I do not want to move in with anybody. I'm not trying to say that I just like people or my family knows that it's just more like when you are comfortable living on your own, you just like your own space, your own privacy. And when you're just living by yourself, you don't have to come home to anyone. You don't have to live by anybody's rule besides your rules. And so with that being said, of course, there are times where I do struggle financially to pay rent, to pay my bills. It's gotten to a part where I just don't go out anymore. I don't go out as much unless I can budget for it. And so I've been really strict on budgeting. This year is the year where I have to be, realistic about my spending habits. Although after divorce, yes, I splurge here and there, and I started loving myself, buying cute clothes and electronics and all that stuff, whatnot, right? But now I have to be realistic about my spending habits and kind of tone that down a little bit, just because, like I said, I make enough to provide for myself. However, if I need to, stay at home and save money, then so be it. And, you guys, I love the comfort of my home. So I'm not saying that I'm hiding from the world, but, yeah, money is very tight when you're living by yourself. I was thinking about getting a second job, but I don't know. That's up in the air. Yeah. Like I said, your finance, it's, for me as a single person or single woman, it's a struggle. And I'm a type of person where I do want to go out. I do want to enjoy the nightlife. I do want to try different restaurants and just go out and have a good time. There's so many events that's going on this year, and I didn't get a chance to go because I don't have the kind of money for all that stuff. And I'm letting you guys know, for those who are single, it's okay to not go out. It's okay to not spend money. It's okay to tell people no. You don't have to explain to people that, okay, you're struggling. For me, I tell my friends and family all the time, like, yeah, I'm struggling, yeah, money, this and that, and everybody is struggling with money, okay? Regardless if they have a partner or not. But specifically talking to my single people, okay, it's okay to not do things. It's okay to focus on your finance. At the end of the day, this is your life. You have to understand, and you have to remember that nobody else is paying for your bills but you. You have to, grow up, and you have to make good choices in your life, because you don't want to be in debt. Okay. You don't want to owe people no money. I hate the feeling of owing people money. I hate the feeling of not being able to pay my bills on time. And if I don't have enough for the end of the week to go out, then I'm just not going to go out. There's a lot of free things that is happening, a lot of free events that's going on. And if you manage to find these free events, then go right ahead and enjoy yourself. Ultimately, like I mentioned, being single, the finance era, it does hurt a little bit, and as much as I can, like I said, pay my own bills and that stuff, all that stuff. But it's nice to just have that extra income to, splurge a little bit or do extra in my life. But because I don't have that other income and it's all based on my own income, then I have to be strict about it. So that's just one of the things that I do miss about having another person living with me to contribute financially. And just because you don't have that extra income in your life, that doesn't necessarily saying that you need to depend on anyone. You have to depend on yourself first. If you somehow met this other person in your life and they are willing to help you financially, great, even better. That's just a way of them just bettering your life. But please just don't be in a relationship with someone just so that they can help you financially. Even though I think in the past, on my past episode, I talk about like getting a sugar daddy, but you guys, I'm just joking around, okay? I don't think I meant for the life, but I do want to focus more on how I can come up with creating a passive income. I was thinking about like doing a lot of like marketing and all that stuff, get myself into like marketing. I don't know, like as of right now, I'm just trying to figure it out myself. In the meantime, I love my current job, even though it can be very tiring, but it's a really easy, simple job and it pays the bills. So that's all I can do with that. But at the same time, I do want to have the extra income for other things as well too. But eventually, when I get there and when I find a way to do that, I would definitely share that information, share my knowledge with you guys. And I think that's something that would help me as an individual and just for anyone who is single, man or woman, to, have extra income when you're by yourself. I do have to say that the first part of being single is being able to financially support myself. It did hurt me in the long run, but I just have to learn to adjust that lifestyle and that life and come up with ways to be financially stable. So that's the first thing. The second thing is every day I wake up, or more so every week I wake up, sometimes I don't feel like doing my chores, okay? I do have to say that when I had that partner in my life, we were able to, well, you could say share responsibility in chores. Sometimes there are some chores that I have to force or repeatedly tell the person to help me out, which was, shoveling the snow and taking out the garbage, but now that I am by myself, of course, when you live in an apartment, you don't have to shovel snow or cut grass or all that stuff, right? But in the inside of my home, of course, you have to wash the dishes, vacuum the floors, I don't know, do your laundry and do grocery shopping and all that stuff, right? There are times where I just don't want to do that. And for those who are able to clean every single day, every week, and make sure that your house is spot clean, kudos to you. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, there are times where there'll be like 1 or 2 months where I don't clean because it could be tiring, it can be draining. I get it, it's no excuse to not clean. However, when you live by yourself, that's your house, okay? But if you were to invite people into your house, you gotta make sure that your house is super clean, okay? Because you don't want people to think that you're dirty. I'm not saying that you're a dirty person, but honestly, I'm letting you guys know, it's a struggle for me to keep my house clean. Even though it's my mess, my space, there are times where I just don't feel like cleaning up and I'll just leave the floor dirty. I will vacuum it whenever it's needed, especially when you have a pet. Okay, now my Arabelle, she sheds a lot. Okay, she's a white cat. She is really naughty. Well, not really naughty, but she sheds a lot. Okay, and when you have pets who have long hair and that sheds, that can leave a lot of hair around the house. Okay, can be a little bit nasty. So like I said, you don't have to force yourself to clean every day. You have to remember, if you are waking up every day to go to your job, you're working a 9-to-5 job, 8-hour job, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever hours, okay, and you come back home, it's okay to give yourself a break. It's okay to not be so hard on yourself to clean or to have a nice room or in a nice apartment or a nice house. Same with the dishes, it's okay to not wash it every day. I think I will leave my dishes in the sink for like a week, and then by the time it's Saturday or Sunday, I'll I will wash it. Okay, yeah, I'm being honest here, okay? Call me dirty all you want, but realistically, you just do not have the energy to come home and try to make your house clean, especially when you've been drained at work. Okay, let's be real here. And so for those who are like a neat freak and very anal about keeping your house clean, I do want to let you know that it's okay to leave it a couple of days. Don't leave it for like a whole month, okay? Because that would be kind of gross. But, you know, if you have to wait until the weekend to clean, go for it. That's fine. I definitely have to say that because I'm living by myself, all the responsibility is towards me. Same thing with grocery shopping. Like I have to plan what day I go to do grocery shopping. I have to make a list. The good thing about, you know, living by myself and doing grocery shopping is that I don't spend as much money to actually buy food for myself. I actually plan my day. I only eat twice a day. I don't eat 3 times, and I meal prep as well too. It's just easier for me to manage my week. When I'm living on my own, yes, I do have to plan out my meals and go grocery shopping. There are days where I do not want to go out and go shopping for food, but that's the only way that I can survive life, okay? So it was nice having a partner to just, you know, go out there and run errands, right? But because I'm by myself, I have to do everything myself. And so with that being said, of course, I have to do grocery shopping by myself, clean my apartment, do laundry, and, you know, everything by myself. And it would be nice to have that extra body to, you know, help me out. And a lot of you guys who are married or with a partner, if you're living with your partner, your men partner, okay, this goes out to us women. For the ladies, if you have a husband or a boyfriend, a partner who doesn't help you run the house, I'm so sorry. But there are some good men out there that is able to help you with the chores, okay? My situation, living by myself, if I were to get into a relationship with someone, I'm going to find somebody that is willing to do all of that on his own. It's just easier that way. There's no point of trying to force that person to do chores. And I believe that, you know, that should be like a daily thing that you do as an individual. You cannot be married or be in a relationship with someone just so that they can clean on your behalf or cook on your behalf. I believe that those are things that you're supposed to do on your own, on your day-to-day life. And so with that being said, that's just one of the things that I do miss about living with someone, doing chores together, or just having that shared responsibilities when it comes to living in the house together. So that's the second thing that I do struggle living by myself. The third thing is emotional support. I know a lot of us women, when we get into a relationship, our partner, our man, sometimes they're not there for us emotionally. Although my previous partner wasn't there for me emotionally, but it was just nice to just have that person to talk to, basically. He could have done a better job of listening and giving me advice and all that stuff. But I do have to say that for the ladies, okay? For the ladies who are single and thinking about getting into a relationship with another person, just find someone that can be emotionally available. They know about their emotions and they're there to listen and give you advice. Just don't be with anybody who's not going to give you that, okay? I learned that the hard way. And although I had that relationship with the previous partner, you know, it's just nice to just conversate and just have someone there to talk to, basically. But I will much prefer to have someone who's actually involved and who's actually interested in what I have to say. But that's something that I don't miss. But for those who did had a good partner who was living with someone who was emotionally available and they were there to listen to you, that's something that you would miss most out of. Because now living as a single woman, I don't have anybody to talk to. Like, I'm in my head a lot of times, and I do have to say that with this podcast, it has actually helped me to, talk to you guys, inform you guys about what I'm currently going through as a single woman, just so you guys have an insight of what I go through day by day. And you just have to learn how to be in your emotion, accept your emotions, and give yourself permission to feel all of your emotions. Like I said, although having a partner there could be a bonus, but that's just some things that I do miss about having someone there whom I can talk to about my day or talk about anything. And because now that I'm single, it's everything's in my head. I do talk to myself on a day-to-day basis. For the most part, doing this podcast actually does help me to, release my emotions and be more in tune with what I feel, and that I'm giving you guys my raw, honest emotions. And yeah, this is how it is being a single woman, or being a single person. You are just in your own environment. You're in your own thoughts a lot. And when you don't have someone whom you can be intimate and have the intimate conversations about your emotions, then it's in your head. A lot of time people will write in their journals. I've done that, but for some reason I just don't journal anymore. I try to journal, but I just feel like it's just easier to just type it down, or just to do an episode on my emotions. So whatever works for you is totally fine. But I do have to say that living as a single woman, I do miss having someone there for me to actually be vulnerable, to give that person my emotional problems that I have. Just having someone there to just listen, basically. And that ties to, having that companionship. A lot of times, some people are lonely and they're not content with their single life. For me, I have come to accept that already. And yeah, there are times where I do wish I had someone there whom I can, like I said, have that emotional talk with, to be able to go outside and go to the mall, or go to concerts, or have a nice dinner at a new restaurant that just recently opened. Just having someone there to have that memories, or to have a good time, basically. I'm a type of person where I like to go out and I like to experience different restaurants. I love food, okay? And I would love to go to like concerts and all that stuff. It is kind of scary and it's kind of frightening to be out and about by yourself. I told myself that I would take myself on a date, and I haven't done that yet. I have been so into myself and so closed up at home, to where DoorDash is just a lot easier. I can just watch Netflix and chill. And of course, if my friends, they want to go out, sure, I'll go with them. But it's just be nice to just have like the intimate relationship with someone to go do those things with, But because I'm living by myself, I do not have that. I'm just more enclosed in my house. I also don't go out shopping to the store anymore unless I need certain things, but I just don't do that anymore. I love shopping too. I love spending money. I think when it comes to it, I'm more of a spender than a saver, okay? So future husband, if you happen to listen to this, okay, as much as I want to save, but I'm a spender, okay? I love spending money, and I love shopping. It's just like when I'm stressed, I go shopping and it just releases it, for some reason. But aside from that, yeah, after divorce and after living by myself for a long period of time, I don't go to the mall unless it's necessary, but I just don't go anywhere. One time, I think it was like recently when I just got divorced, okay? And I tried to go to the mall by myself, and by the time when you go to those stores, you come out, you have like bags and tons of bags that you have to carry around, right? So it got to the point where I was holding probably like 3 bags in each arms, and I'm like, I can't do this. So eventually I have to go back to my car, put those bags inside of my car, and then go back into the mall to do some more shopping. And I thought to myself, man, this would be a lot more easier if I have a man or an extra person to carry my bags, instead of going back to my car and coming back to the mall. at that point, I was like, yeah, I can't go into the mall anymore. You know, it also got to a point where I started having anxiety. Now, during my previous relationship, I've always went shopping for my previous partner, right? I've always bought him clothes, and you know, it was something that I enjoyed doing. And I remember one day I went to the mall with two of my younger brothers, and I think they wanted to look for clothes, so I just went with them. And I thought that, you know, I need some fresh air. Let me just hang out with them for a bit and see if there's anything interesting that I want to buy, right? As we entered H&M, we went through the men's section, and I was looking at clothes and that stuff, and then it got me thinking about all the times that I will buy clothes for my previous partner. And it got to a point where I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but for somehow I just couldn't breathe. I felt like I was gonna have a panic attack. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was horrible. I thought that I was ready to go out and, you know, just start living my life normal, you know. But when I went through that section in the store, it just made me thought about all the times that we will go shopping and I will buy clothes for him, and now I can't do that anymore, and it just sucks. So I tried my hardest to not show my emotions and try not to let my brothers see me get emotional. And so right after we got done shopping, we went to the car. I just tried not to bawl my eyes off, because yeah, it just gave me a lot of past memories, and I definitely was about to have a panic attack. I just could not breathe at all, you guys. It was just like, fuck. Because of that, I just didn't go to the mall at all. So from that story, I do miss that companionship. Just being able to go out and, you know, even if it's not like something where you will experience having the intimate, you know, one-on-one with that person. Going shopping was just something that I enjoyed doing with my previous partner, and because I couldn't do that anymore, and then when I started doing that for myself, it just sucks not having someone there to carry your bags. And it just sucks not just having that person or anyone just being there to go shopping with you, basically. And even if it's shopping or not, just being able to go to events that are happening in the cities, or just enjoying restaurants. It just suck, because even though you want your friends or your families to go with you, for me, I just feel like it's just more intimate when you have it with another person whom you can be intimate with, basically. Even though I don't have that, like I said, I still have my friends, I still have my families, and we can still do those things. Maybe in the future, when I meet the other person, then yes, we will definitely do that. But I do have to say, honestly, that's just something that I miss when it came to just being a single woman, just having that intimate companionship with another person. And then the last one, of course, is the main thing, would be not having sex. Now, for those who are not abstaining from sex, and I think I mentioned this in previous episode, I am abstaining from having sex, and I have my reasons for that. Again, I will do a separate episode on that, and I'm just honest, and I'm just gonna tell you guys how it is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, or I'm not gonna hide anything. But of course, when you're single, you can't have sex. Like, I do miss that, of course. You know, who doesn't miss having sex? Like, the moment when you have sex, it's the moment when you want it more, okay? I'm not gonna lie. But being a single woman, of course, I do miss having sex, okay? The only reason why I'm abstaining from it, because I have my reason. It's both health-wise, both spiritually. I just can't do that. And of course, everyone would say that, you know, you're single, have your whole life and be a hoe for a moment or whatever, right? The thought of it, great, I would love to do it. But you have to know yourself, though. You have to know whether or not you can and cannot do that. And for me, although I imagine myself tasting the colorful Skittles in the motherfucking world, I know that I just can't do it. And you know, you guys can tease me all you want, and you guys can, you know, say or judge me all you want, but I'm just one of those people that it's not all about the hookup culture. That's just not me. I'm the type of person where I have to be emotionally into you, and I have to like you and have this exclusive relationship with in order to fuck you, okay? And so I'm not just gonna be out there, having sex and being part of the hookup culture. That's just not me. Even though I've been deprived from sex, of course people say get a toy and masturbate and do all that stuff. I get it, but at the end of the day, it's not satisfied without the real thing. I'm just being real with y'all. Me being a single woman who's been abstaining after divorce, it's not the same as the real one. So I'm just being honest, okay? I'm just one of those people that's just gonna be honest with you. I don't know about guys, but for me as a woman, I'd rather fuck with the real one than fuck with the fake one, okay? I don't like fakes, okay? I like the real thing. So with that, I'm just gonna keep it short. Again, like I said, I'll do a separate episode on why I am abstaining, go in depth into those reasons. But just keeping it short, when you are a single woman like me, for example, I don't have sex, and that's something that I miss about having a partner, or being in a serious exclusive relationship. It's okay. Like I said, there are things that you can do to turn you on and all that stuff, right? Even if you masturbate, even if you use toys, or even if you do other things that doesn't pertain to having sex with the real person, with the real eggplant, then it's not, for me, I'm not satisfied with that. And also because of my reason to abstain from sex, then, I am okay just holding it on. If I meet somebody that I am interested in, then sure, why not? Again, I'm not going to give you all the details. You guys are going to have to stay tuned for another episode, a different episode, so that you guys can know the whole truth and what goes on a single woman who is abstaining from sex, okay? Because I'm sure there's plenty of women out there who are like me, who are still a virgin, who are abstaining from having sex, and what an outcome and a powerful way of doing that. You guys have to stay tuned for another episode on that. But going back to the topic, yes, that's something that I miss as a single woman, is not having sex, not having someone there whom I can have sex with. And it's unfortunate. I'm super sad, but I know that it's for my good. Yeah, and that's pretty much all of it that I can find when it comes to being a single woman. These are some things that I struggle as being a single woman, and I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other reasons out there. And if there's anything that you yourself as a single person, man or woman, if there's anything that you struggle with living by yourself or living independently, let me know so that I can compare and I can think about whether or not I do experience it or not. But I know this episode is super short, but I just want to get into it, because sometimes I tend to ramble a lot and I'm all over the place, but hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. And I also hope that you guys enjoy this episode as well too. Just because social media and other people portray single people to live a good life, sometimes it's not what it all seems to be, okay? There are good things and there are bad things, but for this episode, I just wanted to let you guys know what I experienced as a single woman. Even though I don't have my own family, even though I don't have kids, just someone who's either divorced, have no kids, or just someone who's just living alone in a different state. These are just the normal things that we all experience as a single person. Men or women, doesn't matter what gender it is, we all struggle being single. And even though some people who are married, they wish to have our life, us single people wish we have their life too. And there are things that we don't like about our life. We all have to be grateful with what we have right now. For those who are married and have kids, be grateful that you have a spouse. Be grateful that you have children. Be grateful that you have someone you can go home to and not be lonely. And for all my single people, I say be grateful as well too, because sometimes having a spouse and having kids can be a little bit too, and having in-laws, yeah. So you guys, I've been there. I know the difference. But if you're fortunate to have a good spouse and supportive in-laws and great kids, great, even better. There's many of us that don't have that. And so just because you want to live a different life that is not how you're living your life now, I say just be grateful. Live in the moment and be grateful for all the things that you have in your life. For me, I am content with living by myself. As much as I would love to share my life with my future partner, there's just some things that I want to work on before I get into that step. At the end of the day, we all go through things. We all are trying to relive, or we're all just trying to figure out life. We're trying to go through our traumas, childhood traumas, figuring out things about ourselves that we didn't figure out in the past, and we just want to live the best life. And for me, that's where I'm at. I want to be financially stable, and I want to be mentally stable as well too. I want to be a good person, not only to myself but to my future partner. And right now, as I'm recording this, that's all I'm focused on. Honestly, I don't care to date anymore, just because I am emotionally unavailable. Like, I just don't give a shit, and maybe if I meet somebody who can change my mind, maybe sure, but it's going to be a lot tougher for me to make that switch. So in the meantime, as I'm recording this and living my present life, I'm just going to continue to work on myself, build up my brand, build up yours truly, work on my nail business, and, figure out a second passive income, just trying to figure out how to do life. If I happen to meet the other person and he is able to help me in all those things that I struggle, which is finance, chores, responsibility, emotional support, companionship, and having sex, even great. But I do have to say it'll be a lot harder to crack that wall or bring down that wall, because right now I want to focus on myself. I want to better myself. I want to grow. And I just want to, like I said, become the best version of myself than whom I was yesterday. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I know that it was super short, straight to the point, and I just hope that you guys learned something from me, and also for you guys to know that, us single people, we don't have it good too, especially when we are independent and by ourselves. It would be nice to have other people living with us, but I feel that when you're by yourself, you get to know yourself a lot better, and you are more centered, and you concentrate more on who you are as an individual. So for those who are still living with roommates or living with your family and you're not in a relationship, but you make enough to, get yourself a decent 1-bedroom apartment, I advise you to do that. That way you can channel within yourself, get to know yourself, and have that time era in your life to do the work, to either do shadow work or to figure out who you are as an individual. People say that at the moment when you get into a relationship, you don't have time to do that, because you are going to involve you and that person in your life. That is just some things that I want to encourage all of the single people. It's just live on your own. Don't worry so much about saving money or being able to afford it. Just find a place that you can afford, that you are able to survive in, okay? And then if you need to increase your income, figure that out. There's plenty of resources online that can help you with that. Do it legally, not illegally, okay? So, but other than that, that's just a few advice that I want to give out to all my single people. And this is all I have for this episode. Again, thank you so much for all of you guys for tuning in and listening to my episodes and being a part of the podcast. And yes, don't forget to check out my website that I recently created. It's not much, but eventually once I have other content, I will add more on my blogs, and I want to do a whole lot of things in there too. I want to write a couple blogs here and there about just random things in my life. Always tune in, and I will eventually remind you guys and make posts on my Facebook page so that you guys can take a look. And for those who love to read, it will definitely be a good place for you to read about certain things that I am into as well. And just again, remember to just follow me at yours Druelee on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and then also check out my website as well at yourstruly.com, so you guys get a lot more information about who I am and what I'm interested in as well too. So other than that, I'm going to end it right here. And again, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.